Anything in the news?
Yeah. Look at how depressed he is. Use this video for when you do the recap, because he's just
almost. We should replay it in slow-mo.
yes.
Do we really need an agent with a machine gun outside Mar-a-Lago?
No.
Does
If I
it
were
come to
Kenny
that?
now, I'd have to correct you if I were Kenny. It's not a machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to play the part.
Playing the role of Kenny
That's what
today.
that's what the media called it. I should have been more circumspect. Local media WPTV showed what appeared to be a plainclothes Secret Service agent with his weapon, an automatic machine gun, as he paraded outside the property. An unmarked vehicle was also in the picture exiting Mar-a-Lago.
Is he trying to keep the people out or keep President Trump in?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Trump is in New Jersey.
I wouldn't take great joy in this if I was a euphorian.
No.
Although the euphorians probably are taking great joy in this. You better really find something of consequence to justify this. But this has never happened in the history of the country. Never.
Yeah. But we've never had a president like Trump, though, either. So, and I'm not saying that justifies anything. I'm just saying it's a very weird time for 5 years, the last 5 years.
Why has that been? Because I'm prepared to offer a history lesson.
Okay.
Now, many GLers think I don't know what they think.
I do.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Let's go back to the
Very
beginning.
good place to start.
Let's go back to the beginning of the Trump ascendancy. Those on the third rail recoiled immediately. They could not stomach the idea of this bull in their china shop.
Hillary Clinton did not have a concession speech prepared that evening.
He was so thoroughly
Dismissed.
an outsider that they feared him instantly, because that life they had created for themselves insulated them from the realities of the typical American life. They don't lead that life. Now, you can't really say that Trump led a typical American life. He was a silver spoon kid. But he led a typical American life in the sense that he didn't live in a political world. He came from outside of it. And he was instantly feared as someone they could not bend, they could not mold, for a couple of reasons. One, he'd never lived on the third rail, and two, he was just the kind of personality that was not going to allow them to dictate how he should behave.
Back then, we had a phrase on the show when you would bring up stories about the third rail.
And
This
that's
is
why Trump got elected, because he appealed to the instinctual nature of Americans who realized, whether they had consciously laid it out for themselves, they realized that what had been happening in Washington was the exponential growth of the entitlement of just the political class, and how they had come to live with nothing to do with us, nothing. And so along came Trump. And from day one, they went after him. Often with great reason, often with not. But they went after him because he was a threat to their way of life. Am I on the right track so far?
Yes.
Like you're correct, even his own party, if you remember, went after him.
Because
with
they
vigor.
enjoyed the third rail as much as the left.
Right.
Exactly, with vigor, yeah.
So they went after him from the get-go. Russian collusion, phone calls to Ukraine, on and on and on. Golden showers and other sordid things. And it just never ended. It never ended. The guy was under their lens from the moment he set foot in the place.
Yes.
And he never helped himself.
Never.
He never helped himself.
Even when you wanted him to say a certain thing to have some class and some
No,
upscale.
he has none.
I know.
He has
He
none.
would say the wrong thing.
Let's not lose sight of
Focus.
let's not lose sight of the history
Thank
lesson.
you. Thank you.
The history lesson being that it just continued and continued and continued. It continued after he lost the election, which he has not helped himself by denying that he lost the election. 7 million people more voted for Biden than Trump, and he continues to reject that.
Even up to this morning's statement from him.
Right. So he's never helped himself. He could have positioned himself as that fellow under attack. Well, he did, but he didn't do it in a way that earned sympathy of more people than it did. He appealed only to people waving Trump flags and what have you.
Wait a minute. Are you saying on are in response to what happened yesterday, or are you saying in general?
In general.
Okay.
So now he's being examined for his role in the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol building, January 6, 2021. And so it reached the point where a judge signed off on getting into his home to see what he took. Apparently, he's been asked before about this, and he would not give up whatever it is he's taken.
Mm-hmm.
But in my estimation, it's a continuation of that history of we're going to do everything we can to protect our lives that we've created for ourselves in Washington that have nothing to do with the American public. Nothing. If you really cared about the American public, why are you touting that the American public should buy electric cars when they can't afford it?
I can't afford it. I can't afford to buy one of those fancy electric cars.
So now it comes to this, and we go and we're gonna go in this guy's house and open his safe and get his stuff. I don't know. Maybe they found some snow globes and some cartons of postcards from Putin. I have no idea. But they better find something damn important, or we don't look any different than Caracas. This is.
What was your initial reaction when you heard the news or saw the news?
That they better be really, really ready to haul out of there incriminating things, and we don't know yet what they hauled out of there.
Mine was sadness.
The folks in the know say the warrant itself said national security documents were what they were going after, that he took with him when he left office. That, of course, highly illegal. And the suspect from some folks is he may have wanted to somehow profit from having those.
Johnny, I'm not contending anything you're saying. Tell me who's the people in the know, because I don't know any of this.
Lawyers, etc.
Okay.
Are privy to that sort of thing.
Well, have we exhausted the legal road? Have we exhausted the use of lawyers?
As I understand it, they have repeatedly asked him to turn back everything he had. Remember, he left with boxes and boxes of stuff that he wasn't supposed to leave with. And as what I read overnight was that he's been asked repeatedly by the Justice Department, the DOJ, to turn this stuff over, and basically has not done that, has not turned it back in.
Trump is the one who announced this.
Yeah.
These are dark times for our nation, as my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States. Trump did not specify why the FBI was searching his estate. And plus, the people you're sending in there, are they cleared to see national security documents?
Good question.
Wouldn't the FBI be the one?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, they wouldn't.
Well, they're just field agents. Why would they be cleared to see
who would
That's
the Russian,
different from
the
classified
nuclear codes?
Right. That's different from classified military information.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate. Then who is cleared?
Thank you, Chris. That was my question.
Oh, I suppose high-ranking cabinet members, for example,
like the
Secretary of State,
Well,
Secretary
general
of Defense.
hotels that just
let me expand on Chris's question then. Who should carry out a raid of this sort if
Yeah.
FBI agents can't see
Well,
them.
and probably they're not stopping to read things in the hallway.
Maybe
It's-
they just had their eyes closed.
yeah.
They're like, don't look at it.
But there is no doubt that these were warrants for documents that he was supposed to turn over to the National Archives. And
Allegedly, from what they're saying, whoever they are.
the source with familiar knowledge of the circumstances of the raid said whatever the FBI uncovered, it could ultimately lead to unsuspected new evidence. However, any decision to launch a raid like this is not ever made without the full consent of the nation's top law enforcement official. That is the Attorney General Merrick Garland. And in order for Garland to give the green light on a raid of this magnitude, he needs to be convinced that his deputies had enough evidence of the commission of a criminal offense. It's not just Garland's view either. A judge would have had to view the search warrant request from the Department of Justice and issued the order to search for and seize property. So what we're being told by the government is that don't worry, we consider this terribly egregious, and that's why we issued the warrant.
The government's not saying anything.
Well,
The
I'm
government is
paraphrasing
not.
that it's the Merrick Garland and his deputies are trying to assure us that they were convinced they would find something of magnitude.
Yeah, well, that's better, but the government still is not saying anything.
Well, who's
DOJ
the
has
government?
The DOJ has made no comment on any of this. Nothing. And Garland has made no comment whatsoever on any of this.
When can we expect that, I wonder?
That I do not know.
One of the clips that's surfacing and has been since this was announced, whenever it was yesterday, is a video clip of Senator Tom Cotton. He's Arkansas, correct? U.S. Senator from Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay. He asked FBI Director Christopher Wray why no charges have been brought against those who paraded outside the SCOTUS justices' homes. And he says, quote, this is Wray, our agents are up to their necks enforcing all sorts of laws. So, of course, that's circulating now. Would that lead us to believe then that this is what they deemed as the highest of priorities?
Mm-hmm. Back to the history lesson. This is in keeping with that template that's been in work for almost 6 years.
Okay.
This is in keeping with it.
Okay.
In fact, you could say this is the end game. This is it. That where do they go from here? The people who loathe him and don't want him at their party, meaning they don't want his life lived on the third rail with them. They find him disagreeable and untoward and not to be trusted and crazy, all of which is true. But because of that, do you get to use the power of the Department of Justice to raid his home? Well, we'll find out more when it's reported, if we can trust the reporting on what it is they've extracted from the residents.
Because there's a lot of people that won't trust the reporting.
Right.
But we won't know unless there's charges, right? How will we know unless somebody leaks it? Because I don't think the DOJ is going to have a press conference saying, well, here's what we got.
Well, then how
at the
will we
Trump
find out,
residence.
Johnny?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unless there's
Oh.
charges, I don't
Okay.
know that we
There
ever
was
will.
no clearer difference between CNN and Fox News than there was last night. Because once this hit the news, I began to click. And at CNN, they were just gleeful. They were damn near drooling with joy. And you switch to Fox, and they were completely mocking of any efforts like this. It was the difference was astounding. This country, and GL has said this for years, this country has a hard time dissecting its news and sorting it out. Because if you went to CNN, it was pure joy. Let's get this guy. Let's kill him. No, not kill him. Let's get this guy.
Let's get him.
And then you go to Fox and they go, what, you have no reason to do this. And they're mocking the whole effort to do it.
But I said this earlier. I was saddened, and I don't know if you guys had the same reaction, because as Joe said earlier, I thought this is the kind of crap that happens in Venezuela, not this country. Have
But
we really disintegrated to this
How do
point?
we know that? See, here's what I don't get from what you're saying. We don't know what was there. We have no idea. If there are national security documents there, that he should not have? Is it Venezuelan crap?
I guess you're right.
And it would be in keeping with his character, such as it is, that he probably thought, well, I was president, I get to have this stuff.
Doesn't
Right?
really work
Okay.
that way, though.
But no, but he does. He was a loose cannon.
I know that obviously this was going to come up today, but do we have to apply the 48-hour Joe Souchere
Yeah.
rule?
Oh, this is 72.
Maybe 48 days.
Yeah. It's a long time before you can sort this out. It's suffice it to say that we're all taken aback because it's never happened before.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, a lot of people are comparing this to Watergate.
It's not analogous.
It isn't.
Well, Nixon's home was never raided at San Clemente.
True.
You got to get something on him.
You can't do a current president.
And I'll tell you, the other thing, again, we're in such weird times because of social media.
Oh my God.
It's just yesterday, last night I'm on social media and I see people going, who's the idiot that made Ray the head of the FBI?
Well, it's
Donald Trump
Donald
was.
Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And well, how come the Republican-led FBI or Democratic-led FBI is going? Well, once again, it was
And there was
Ray's
just
Republican.
not only confusion, but a lot of incompetence when it comes to accusations because, obviously everyone was going after Biden and,
Yeah.
Senator Biden.